N211 is part of the Writing Across the Curriculum program at Methodist College. This means that one of the papers in the class will be produced using the 3 phases of drafting: a plan, a first full draft, and a final draft. Additionally, feedback at each phase will be given to the students. This is done in an effort to improve both your written communication skills and your understanding of the topic and concepts involved in the paper. This semester for N211, you'll be analyzing a case study called Dick and Jane. As you can see, you're looking at the instructions for the Writing Across the Curriculum paper. It says, purpose: you are writing a scholarly paper to analyze a case study and determine a proper course of action for the nurse in the case study. So you were given the Dick and Jane case study to read, and that is what you're going to be basing your paper on. Audience: this is an educational paper which can be used in both the college and practical settings. Therefore, your audience is comprised of nurses, nurse educators, and nursing students. This is important because that you know that you don't have to explain every little tiny detail. If it has to do with like if you're going to use a medical term, you don't necessarily have to go into a long explanation to explain it to somebody who wouldn't understand it. Remember who your audience is: nurses, nurse educators, and nursing students. The specifications of the paper, 3 to 5 pages in length, and you must meet the minimum 3-page requirement. Now, sometimes people run over the 5 pages. We're hoping that you don't, but don't be afraid to run over the 5-page maximum. We're still working on this assignment, and so we're not sure if you need to run over that 5 pages or not. We'd rather you wrote more than did not write enough. For the paper, you're going to need to use proper APA format and style, which you should have learned about watching the tutorials and from the information provided not only on your N211 site, Sakai site, but also on the Student Center. It's supposed to be written in third person. That means it's an objective third person point of view. A minimum of 3 scholarly sources. Remember, scholarly sources, that doesn't mean you can go on to the internet and use anything that you want. We're looking for books and peer-reviewed journals. It needs to be written in a scholarly professional manner, so be careful with your word choice. Make sure that it is presented like an academic paper. And of course, you need to use the template provided. I'll show you the template in a minute. Instructions: read the Dick and Jane case study and follow the template for the paper. Pretty simple. So now I'm going to show you the template. Okay, here's the template. This is the first page. Everything is formatted for you correctly, double-spaced, Times New Roman 12-point font. The running head, all you have to do is replace the something accurate and unique with what your title actually is. Remember, the words running head stay on that first page, but not on any of the other pages. So here, something accurate and unique for your title, your name, and Methodist College. That's all that needs to go in that first page. There should say your title page. Here's the actual first page of the paper. Again, you have your title here. It's not in bold. Just follow the formatting exactly as it is on the template. And then if you go through the template, you'll see that there are instructions for each section. This says that this is your introductory paragraph. You need to prepare your audience. Tells you what should be in there. It gives some general information about the role and importance of the nurse within the case study. Do not summarize the case study. Assume your audience has access to it and has read it. Provide a clear and strong thesis statement that encompasses the purpose of your paper. Do not narrate your paper. Don't write anything like "this paper will" or "in this paper I will." No, 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 no. And don't list all the points or aspects of your paper. Don't give me some big long list or give your teacher some big long list of all the different things you're going to talk about. You should be able to find one sentence, one encompassing sentence that can describe everything you're going to talk about in your paper. And to go back, it says do not summarize the case study. Assume your audience has access to it. Nowhere in here do we need a summary, a recounting of everything that took place in the case study. That is not necessarily necessary. You're simply going to be responding to and analyzing this case study. Okay, so you have to use the template. Make sure that you are using, this is the level 1 heading, a level 2, level 2, level 2. See, it's already all completely organized for you. You need to use these exact headings, and you need to just follow the instructions that are here. So the first main section, which is why it has a level 1 heading, is called Ethical Concepts. Inside of here, you have advocacy, informed consent, patients' rights and responsibilities. Now, each one of these, like I said, these are level 2. So each one of these subsections of the main section, it's described exactly what needs to go in here. So just follow the instructions. Advocacy. In this section, define advocacy as it pertains to nursing. Explain the importance of advocacy in the nursing role, etc., etc., etc. Follow the instructions exactly as they're laid out. And then you have a second main heading. That's why it's a level 1. That has 3 level 2 headings. So it's got 3 sections in it. Again, follow the instructions. As you look down here, you'll see that the last subsection or level 2 section of that has 2 sections inside of it as well. These are called level 3 headings. It's exactly how it should be. They're in bold. They're indented to actually be the beginning of the paragraph. There's a period after it. Keep it exactly like this and just start writing your paragraph starting here. Conclusion, you don't have to label your conclusion. That's the one thing that you can, choose to do or not do. And there's instructions on how to do the concluding paragraph as well. If you keep going down, you'll see that this is prepared for you to have your reference entries put here, because you have to have sources, which means you have to cite them in your text, those in-text parenthetical citations, and you'll need to have reference entries. Remember that when you are putting your reference entries in, that they need to have a hanging indent, which is pretty easy to do. I'm going to move this for just a second so you can see. As you're getting ready to put in your reference entries, if you go to paragraph, to the drop down here, the little arrow, and then where it says indentation, hit hanging and OK. Then everything, get my box back here, then you should be able to do the hanging indents. That means that the first line of every entry will be flush left here at the left margin, and then any subsequent line will be indented 1 tab or a half, I believe it's a ½ inch. So the hanging indent function will allow you to do that. That's the template. So that's provided for you. Download it, resave it under another name with your name on it somehow. There's some more information here for you. We also have a grade sheet and rubric, which is provided. This gives you a really good idea of what we're looking for when we're grading papers. It says here, comments and evaluation, analyzing Dick and Jane paper. So the first part of it is really has to do with writing. So clarity, writing conventions, grammar, punctuation, spelling, and then things you make sure you don't do. First person, anthropomorphisms. If you don't know what an anthropomorphism is, I suggest you look it up. Don't use contractions, because using contractions is not a scholarly academic way of writing. You want to take those contractions out, unless of course it's in a direct quote. And just here, 35 pages in length, 3 scholarly sources, etc. Then there's information about APA. This is the parts of APA that we will be focusing on. The introduction, what needs to be in there. In each section here, advocacy, informed consent, patients' rights, lack of advocacy, lack of informed consent, proper course of action, conclusion. So everything that we've talked about, it's explained either in the instructions or in the template, is here on this comments and evaluation sheet. This is going to be used when your paper is being graded. Additionally, here is the actual writing rubric, the 100-200 level writing rubric. And so take a look at this. This is how you will actually be scored for your paper, the different percentages, the different parts of it. So if it's vocabulary, sentence fluency, organization. Elaboration means explanation. How have you explained everything thoroughly? That needs to be explained. Focus, keeping your paragraphs focused. Support. Are you supporting what it is you're saying? If you make a statement, you better support it, whether it's through an example from the study or with scholarly support or with a logical explanation. But you must be supporting, and we're also going to look to see that the support information you're using is relevant to what it is that you're saying. Specific requirements, that'll go back to those instructions, right? What are we asking for in the paper? And then, of course, APA. And so 10% is going to be how well you use APA. We'll be looking at how you format the paper, how you do your in-text citations, your reference entries, and we'll also be focusing some of it on some concise writing. Hopefully, all of this information will help you write your paper. If you have any questions about the Dick and Jane case study, which here it is, make sure that you ask your instructor, or you can also get a hold of the writing program coordinator.